Today we've come to Northampton to a company called Alcon-Precision Engineering, where there's a real hub of motorsport manufacturers. But the story here is a really interesting one because it's about how this business has learned the true value of Matsuura. There's a great story here at Alcon-Precision Engineering. Now, this is Alex, who is the Business Development Manager. You've bought a Matsuura every 3 years. How has that helped you in your position, Alex?
Made a huge difference for us in a multitude of ways. I'll take you back to the start. So this was our very first machine, which was a MAM72-35V. We bought this in 2018, so a little while ago. And we'd gone from a business that was using primarily single pallet machines, maybe 3, maybe 4 pallets, but making that jump from that to a 32 pallet, potentially 300 tool machine, it's a big jump.
And what has that learning curve look like?
Oh, it's massive. So if you don't set these up correctly and you don't use your tooling suites correctly, you don't really reap the rewards. I think you're very sensitive to the right mix of work. What we've done over a period of time is we've picked various different work holding systems and racked out each row of the pallets with that. We've then expanded the tooling and made tooling suites so that nearly all product uses the same suite of tools. It's just standardisation that allows complete flexibility.
So what components are you making here and style of components at Alcon-Precision Engineering?
A good example of this is a pedal box assembly we manufacture the components for. It's got 10 to 15 components, and the customer is in no use if they've got just one pedal. They need one of everything. But like all customers, they want to order in batch size of 20, 50. What this level of flexibility allows us to do is manufacture one of everything to get the customer building a car and then go back and complete the batch. And all of that with no additional setup time.
And so you basically have each level and it's a different work holding?
Yeah, absolutely. So you might want Lang for finish operations. You might want D22, which we use for roughing stages or first ops. And those different levels allow us to rack up various different jobs throughout the day, throughout the night, and also load it up for weekend.
And off camera, you said to me, you do the work that no one else wants to, or tricky work, is that right?
Yeah, so Alcon Precision's always had a history in doing the stuff that other people don't want to do. And what Matsuura's allowed us to do is take the jump from the 1s, the 2s and the 5s up to the 100s, 150s, up to maybe 500 a year of a component. So it's allowed us to scale, really. And
this machine essentially has allowed you to be flexible, but to scale.
Yeah, and hugely productive. Our productivity numbers last year were up in 80-odd%.
Oh, wow.
So really, really good.
And why did you go for the next machine then?
So there's not many limitations of this, but you do sometimes want a bigger component, and that led us on nicely to the next machine. So Lindsay, this is our MX-520, and this was our second Matsuura. We bought this in 2021, so 3 years after the original MAM. It's a different layout to the MAM, but it has its advantages. And the main reason we went for this was for the bigger pallet. It's about 50% bigger in component size.
But this is your favourite machine as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's really accessible. It's a smaller footprint, but it still gives you a good level of automation. It's 4 pallets and a nice, easy to access work area. And what that's done for us is taking on a really complex one-off and knowing that we've got the 4 pallets to then scale it when we secure the bigger volume.
Okay, and then so why did you buy another machine 3 years on?
So we brought this machine, and the product group that we started doing for our customers went really well.
Because you could scale.
Because we could scale, exactly. And that led on to more and more vehicles, more and more types of this same component. And we realised that one spindle wasn't going to cut it. So that led us really nicely onto the third machine. And this was one we bought last year in 2024. We realised with the first MAM that it taught us how to automate. We then needed a bigger pallet, so we went to the MX-520. Brilliant machine, but then we realised we wanted that level of automation with that size of pallet. So we went for the MAM72-63V. We also got 2 extra pallets in the meantime.
And have you had to lean on Matsuura? I can tell by your smiles how happy you are about getting this model. Did they assist you with the purchasing, or did you know which direction you wanted to go in?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we bought the 520 and the MX range for a reason at the time, but we knew that as we started to sell more of this style of product, we would need the modular design of the MAM, and this has got that. We can currently expand up to 300 tools.
So this is basically an amalgamation of the two.
The two, exactly.
So what does it all gone?
I was going to say we also got a slightly bigger pallet than the 520, so we've also gained some extra workpiece capacity.
What does the future hold?
More of this simply. We're learning with each machine. I think, there might be a chance for another MX in the future. We might go back for another MAM. More of this. We know that these work for us. It works for our customers with the flexibility and the scalability. And yeah.
Your role is business development manager. Obviously these machines are have they helped you?
Absolutely. Everything in motorsport is high intensity, high pressure, ever changing. And this level of flexibility, this number of pallets, this number of tools means 9 times out of 10 you can get a solution for the customer.
And on a personal level, Alex, you can tell how passionate you are about engineering. You've worked on the tools, haven't you? You've seen different sides.
Yeah, so I spent the last 9 or 10 years in my previous role on the tools, and I never got the chance to play with this level of kit and technology. So it's really nice both for us here, on a personal level, from an employee level, getting to use the latest and greatest, but also to be able to offer its services to our customers.
Do you think there's any limitations then on this machine for the future?
Currently, probably only tooling. I think we've got 120 tools on it as we've purchased it. Working with Dom, we didn't worry about this. Because the MAM's modular, we can put further tooling racks in, and that's really nice because it keeps the investment, although it's a big investment, we can limit the initial spend and know that as we build up the portfolio of customers and work, we can expand it.